The Nito Exorcist gave me one of the most unique experiences I've had while reading a manga. Within the first chapter alone, I was automatically hooked, and you will be too. Just let me explain. Over 10,000 people every year are killed by evil spirits, and our main characters, Gotsuchi and Aruka, go around the country exorcising them. Hell-bent on revenge, Gotsuchi will stop at nothing to take down every evil spirit he sees, followed by his sidekick Aruka, who's honestly just doing this just because she wants to. On the first chapter, we can see that Gotsuchi and Aruka arrive at an old lady's temple because she's been having trouble with evil spirits and she needs the help of an exorcist. And as Gotsuchi is dealing with the evil spirits, he's starting to realize there's a lot more of them than usual, so he wonders, what did the old lady do to make them this mad? Now, Gotsuchi is a bit of an odd one when it comes to the exorcism world. He can't really see or sense evil spirits all too well, and that's where Aruka comes in. Since he had this hunch, he asks Aruka to sense the evil spirits for him because he thinks they're multiplying and he can't sense them himself. Aruka senses a lot more evil spirits than they had planned for, so Gotsuchi wants to go ask the old lady, how many people have you killed? Evil spirits are a manifestation of resentment and they seem to be targeting you. Now, the old lady doesn't directly say it, but she does apologize, so we can assume that she was out here catching more bodies than King Von himself. Gotsuchi tells her, I'm not confident I could pass judgment on another person. That's not what I've dedicated my life to, so therefore it's not something I could claim to understand. Though you may escape my judgment, I cannot say the same for the evil spirits. There are many things out there that I fall short in, but this is not one of them. And then he runs off to go back fighting. Now, one of the first things you'll notice while reading this manga, especially on the first chapter, is that their evil spirits don't really look like evil spirits at all, especially compared to other mangas like JJK, where the evil or cursed spirits actually look like cursed spirits. Like, you could actually point out a cursed spirit and be like, okay, yeah, that looks like a cursed spirit, this looks evil as fuck. While compared to the Nito Exorcist, these don't really look like evil spirits at all. Some of them look like teddy bears that you could walk up to and give a giant hug. Go up to your nearest 3-year-old and ask them to draw a character, and I guarantee you they'll draw something similar to this. And now, while this isn't a shot at the Nito Exorcist at all, because I believe this adds so much more uniqueness to the manga, it's just funny to me how I'm supposed to believe that 10,000 people or more are dying to these evil spirits every year. Now, while not every evil spirit looks like that in this series, for the lower ranking ones, this is what they will look like. In the world of the Nito Exorcist, the stronger the evil spirit is, the more complicated its appearance will be, so it makes sense why the lower ranking ones have such simple designs. Like, this is what happens when a bunch of the lower ranking ones combine into one. This actually looks like something that needs to be exorcised. There are two major things that attracted me towards this manga: Gotsuchi's character and the artwork. We're gonna get to Gotsuchi's character, but I want to cover the artwork first because I feel like it's what makes this manga so different and adds so much more life to it. This would be a perfect example of let the artist cook. While you're reading this, you're gonna notice that it kind of looks simple and lacks detail, and that's where the artist gets you. You'll see a panel or two that looks kind of mid or looks like the artist rushed it, then boom, you'll get hit with this panel that looks like it deserves to be in an art museum. You know the sketches manga artists do when they're drawing up a rough draft? This is what the manga looks like 90% of the time, but I like it. It gives it such an abstract and empty feeling that matches the tone of the series so well, because then you'll have Ichikawa, the mangaka for this series, drop a 10 out of 10 panel and then go back to these rough sketches. It's such a unique art style that I've never seen done before, and I think that's why I like it so much, because I've never seen this be able to work for a mangaka before. Around chapter 3, Gotsuchi fights this super strong evil spirit, and for majority of the fight I could not tell what was going on, and then Ichikawa just decides to bless us with a beautiful panel. It makes me feel like a crackhead waiting on my next fix because I know it's coming, I just don't know what panel he's gonna decide to do it on. I can just imagine Ichikawa rubbing his hands behind the screen because he knows the people reading are waiting on him to drop the most beautifully abstract panel you've ever seen. He brings the saying "let him cook" to a whole new level. Gotsuchi is another thing I wanted to talk about in this video because I feel like he's also what makes me so interested in this manga. Growing up, Gotsuchi's dad would quote unquote force him to participate in exorcisms because he wanted his family name to have more influence. Gotsuchi always having this get it done by any means mindset, he would run into an evil spirit that he wasn't strong enough to deal with and would have to be saved by Aruka's older sister, Iruka. After being saved and his father hearing about it, he would ask Iruka to take Gotsuchi in with her younger sister Uruka because he was heading to the head temple, an organization where all of the strongest exorcists reside. So in other words, he went to the store to get milk and never returned. It's unclear if he didn't return because he was killed or if he just didn't return because he didn't want to see his son anymore. I'd like to assume, as fucked up as it sounds, that he was killed fighting an evil spirit, rather than to believe that he just left his son after forcing him to do a bunch of exorcisms. Iruka would accept this request, and over the years the trio would grow. Now I say trio very loosely because it's clear that Gatsuchi has some sort of fixation with Iruka. Now, I don't know if it's he admires her or he has some sort of romantic feelings for her, but it's clear that he had a very strong connection towards her. Iruka wasn't your average exorcist by any means and was very known throughout the world for being able to handle any job you threw at her, until one day the temple would send her a job to go exorcise an evil spirit known as the doppelganger, and it would prove to be her last fight. She wouldn't make it out alive, and ever since that day, Gatsuchi has been tunnel vision on revenge, trying to find any leads on this evil spirit known as the doppelganger, but always coming up short. And with them being exorcists, praying is very common, but Gatsuchi got tired of the old way he was praying, so instead he decided to go pray by killing evil spirits. This man said, fuck using my hands to pray, it's about time I use them to kill. And to top it all off, this man Gatsuchi reads One Piece in the middle of an exorcism. He's talking about how many swords does Zoro have, and he's telling Iruka to keep reading One Piece because she's making fun of it. If that didn't convince you right there to read it, then I don't know what else will. This manga is still ongoing with 38 chapters, and it's still in its ground building stage. We're just finding out the main villains, and we're just finding out about all these new different characters. I highly suggest you read it. It will not disappoint. But if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I've been trying to push out a lot more uploads recently. With all these new manga that I'm discovering, it's only right that I tell y'all about it. But don't forget to like and subscribe and comment a manga that you think I should read or